base case scenario, and we go into the press conference and we look for every little piece of language from Mario Draghi. We look at the ECB's forecast for inflation 2 years out. That's what really matters. So it's not just the news we get in 5 minutes.
Here's the news in 5 minutes. This has been a Draghi of rhetoric. Can it be a Draghi of action?
You know, this is really going to be an exercise to see whether or not the Germans are truly controlling the European Central Bank at this point. Obviously, deflation is a huge risk in Europe, and the thought that they will not cut, to me, is anathema. But
right.
I have no idea what's going on.
Breaking news before the ECB announcement. G7 leaders say the priority, this off the Bloomberg terminal, is growth and employment. So they weigh in here. If I'm Draghi, I'm like, now?
You know what?
Have to put this
the headline would be if they said the priority was something else than that.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's surprising support coming from Wolfgang Schäuble, the finance minister of Germany, who says, quote, the ECB always makes the right decision. All right? Because that's been one of the concerns, that Germany wasn't on board with potentially negative interest rates.
Yeah, what's the right decision, though?
Yeah, right.
They haven't done much the last 5 years, so if that's what he's calling for.
Yeah.
Right.
Are the individual governments relying too much on the ECB and Mario Draghi to
Well, they have so far within their rhetoric, and that's what's so unique right now as we go to the decision, is we move from rhetoric to action. This again with the euro, a 135.92. The euro crushed in the last couple moments now. We've got the ECB decision in the headline. Let's go to our Jonathan Farrell. Jonathan, we see a first headline coming out here.
Yeah, so they've cut the refi rate. I'm just waiting for the number to come through right now. So we were at 0.25%. My screen hasn't updated. There we go. It is a cut to 0.15%. So that's a cut by 10 basis points. So they've lowered the benchmark rate to 0.15%. The question I'm going to ask, Tom, is does a 10 basis point cut make a whole lot of difference for the Eurozone? I'm waiting for the call on the deposit rate, because the consensus is that this goes negative. That's the one we're waiting for right now. They've lowered the marginal lending facility. Forget about that. The big one is going to be the deposit rate. They've cut it, which means they will be going negative on the deposit rate by 10 basis points. The theory here, I want you to understand the theory. The idea is that this helps banks lend. The problem is there isn't a lot of money at the deposit facility, the ECB, right now. There is way less than there was before. This isn't just about getting bank lending going. Let me be clear here. This is about capping the euro. You see the spike there in the euro?
Well, let's go to the euro right now as you see it all over the place. Here's where we were on euro, near 136 opening here. Up we go, this giant spike. Then we go back down as the headlines coming out. And then we come back up here with an elevated euro in the last couple of minutes.
It's better to travel than arrive.
And the headline to me, Jonathan Farrell, within the confusion of the Europe, within the clarity of the United States, is this idea of, you just mentioned, 3 different interest rates, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to Guy Johnson in Frankfurt as he parses 3 different interest rates and a negative deposit rate. Guy?
Look, Tom, they've cut the deposit rate. That's obviously a major step for a central bank. The question is, Draghi's now going to explain why he's done it, what he thinks the consequences are of that, how the banks are going to react to that. Are they going to pass that on to the customers, or are they going to suck it up? If they suck it up, that's going to affect their capital. That's going to be a problem because European banks have a shortage of capital right now. So he's got to explain all that right now. But as John said earlier on, look, looking forward from here, we now need to get inside. We need to get into the press conference. Is that it? Are we going to get any more? Are we going to get more on the liquidity front? And is he going to talk about maybe asset purchases further down the road? Those are the big questions that are now outstanding. Right. He's probably delivered enough now to keep the market vaguely stable. He now needs to deliver more, maybe to get the euro down. Back to you.
Very good, Guy Johnson. Thank you so much. And to me, very quickly, John, it's the churn that we've got here in the euro 135.91. Scarlett, pick up with the data.
There is only one headline that matters, and I'm going to read it. The ECB will announce further policy decisions later. That's the one you've got to watch.
And, of course, that press conference begins at 8:30 a.m. Euro weaker versus the dollar, 135.88.
Good morning, everyone. Bloomberg Surveillance on Bloomberg Television and Bloomberg Radio worldwide. We come